Hi there, my friends. So this is a look at the Afro Tarot by Jessie Jumanji, and it comes in this. I mean, I'm a sucker for anything gold and shiny, so it comes in this beautiful gold bag, and this is not an unboxing. I did look at this already, but I just briefly sort of looked at it this morning when it came in. So here's the box. And it says, the Afro Tarot by Jessie Jumanji combines traditional tarot themes with African culture and spirituality, perfect for the melanated into metaphysics. And it's a beautifully designed box, and you can pick it up at jessiejumanji.com, which is where I got it. And little crushed in shipping, but these things don't bother me too much. So it's a two-part box, and then there's this really clever mini guidebook with keywords, and then it says on the inside here, so it says what it says on the box. It also says, using her signature style of Afrofuturism, Jessie Jumanji uses digital collage to combine historical imagery of African people and the African diaspora with classic tarot imagery. This deck was created with love and good intentions for your journey to spiritual evolution and elevation. So, let's take a look at the cards, and I'll zoom in. So these are gilt for the gods. It is that kind of gilding that gets on you, which, you know, I mean, I'm a gay guy. I don't really care if I'm covered in glitter, frankly. But if that, you know, that's one thing to know. It does with time. Those gildings do sort of calm themselves down a little bit. But you know, again, I'm like a sucker for shiny things because I'm like a baby with shiny things. So let's look through the cards. So this is digital collage, and you know, some folks don't go for that, but I think that this is really tastefully done, and the color is so rich. So here's the Fool and the Magician. Now, I actually would love. I'm going to go to the website. Yeah, there isn't a book for it. I would sort of love, you know, I always love to know what is happening for the artist in the choices they make, but I just wanted to check and see if I had missed that. So this is the Magician. Here's the High Priestess. These beautiful moons. One thing I can say that is for, you know, having been looking at tarot cards for 20 years and looking at different kinds of tarot cards, I always tend to think about the first digital collage deck I ever saw, which was the Gendron Tarot, or Gendron Tarot, which I had, and I found really kind of creepy. I don't think I've ever seen a digital collage deck that was that alarming to me. But to me, having seen a bunch now, one of the signs I think that an artist has really achieved successful digital collage is the lighting. And you can see that the lighting in this card does not look strange. You know what I mean? So despite that these were disparate images, the lighting on this tower doesn't contradict the lighting on this tower. You know, and to me, that's sort of a thoughtful thing that a digital collage artist would do. And then this doesn't scream crazy lighting either. You know what I mean? Like, the art is integrated. This is the Empress. And so, from my perspective, that is a really successful digital collage. Now, I'm not an artist, I'm not an art critic, I'm not an art teacher. I'm just a card slinger who knows what I've seen over the years. I love this Emperor. I really do love when an Emperor is not just the bad guy in the deck, because I think that it's, again, as I talk about all the time, all the cards are neutral until they come into context with one another. And so this is an Emperor who, you know, clearly could take over the world, and at the same time, you know, could represent sort of the empowerment of a person. So to me, that neutrality is kind of great. The Hierophant. The Lovers. This has a more sort of fantastic quality to it, but I love that also that there's magic. You know, that there's sort of what's the word I'm looking for? That there's fantasy. You know, it's not just sort of banal. And it's. I think when people make art, it should like elevate somehow the tarot, right? And I think that is. I love this strength card so much. I love the sky, and the way that it's sort of daylight with this night sky. Which like takes two time, like the infinity symbol gets used so much, but the idea to sort of have like daylight and night at the same time in this image of strength, and that infinity thing is like strength is a sustained labor. And I think one of the things about the strength card is it's not just like a burst of a strength, you know, it's a sustained, that's what the lemniscate always, it's a sustained effort, so to speak. Also, it's interesting to see, you know, lions contextualized in a non-European way too. You know what I mean? Like this is a lion's habitat. This Hermit card is so beautiful. The Wheel of Fortune. Now, I will say that I did not need to sort of snap these cards from their gilding, which is frequently the case. This Justice card is also kind of amazing. The Hanged Man. So gilding will frequently... I love this death card. Sorry. Gilding will frequently, you know, if you've seen them before, it'll stick together. This does not do that. Temperance. The Devil. This Tower. So, very Rider-Waite-Smith, you know what I mean? Like, so, but like, again, it's not a rip-off. Like, it's contextualizing those images in terms of, in this case, sort of Afrofuturism, which he says, saying like he's an art critic and knows this. Lighting on this moon card. Do you see what I mean by like lighting in a collage deck? Like, sometimes an artist will not pay attention to the lighting, but look how the lighting hits the Sphinx. You know what I mean? Like, that is a detail that is thoughtful and like, come on. It's just, the Sun card is so vibrant and like, yes, and I love the richness of the blues, and this Judgment card, and then the World, and again that rich color is so gorgeous. And so then we get into the suits, and so Ace of Cups, the Two of Cups. See what I mean about that lighting? You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't look jarring. It doesn't look like these don't belong together. The Four of Cups. The Five. This is a really nice neutral Five of Cups. You know, I think, again, this is a thing I look for, particularly in new iterations of Rider-Waite-Smith decks, is that they're not pronouncing a feeling one way or the other, that they allow space for the Five of Cups to be as happy as grieving, you know. 6, 7. Look at the richness of those blues. Look at the I just am like such a sucker for like rich blues and greens in decks. This Eight of Cups is again just like there. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say like this thing of like scale in this card is so interesting to me. You know, that again, I think there's something about this kind of art that like it can be really, scale can be really strange, but this is not strange. Like, this is a deliberate choice. Whereas you look at, you know, this card or this card, you know, like the scale this is like a realistic scale. This is not a realistic scale, but the choice is made to make the scale, and like, look, it's almost the same kind of cup here, you know, that connects the 6 and the 8, but this playing with scale is so cool in this way. And that, again, to me is like, here's a thoughtful artist who's creating something with intention and that's unified within a style. And then the 10 of Cups. So the Page of Cups, the Knight of Cups. Again, look at scale. You know what I mean? And for a page, you know, we tend to think of pages as really small, but they're expansive because they're curious. So playing with scale in that way, I think, is really rad. There's the Knight of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the King of Cups. And then here we get into Pentacles. So there's the Two of Pentacles, the 3, the 4. There's something so interesting too about someone, so like this is a child in this card that I think adds this, again, this layer where people think of this card as being miserly, and I think it like the youth in this card challenges you to think differently about it, and I'm all about challenging folks to think differently. Scale again with the Six of Pentacles, you know, I mean, look at the differential in. You know, if you think about Rider-Waite-Smith and like the scale and the handing out, like the differential in power in a way in this case is really interesting. A 7. The 8. Nines of Pentacles are like almost always my favorite in the Minor Arcana in Rider-Waite-Smith decks, and this really again offers just a Nine of Pentacles that makes me really happy. Here's the 10. There's the Page. The Knight. The Queen. And the King. So now we get into Swords. Ace. 2. I'm just, I didn't notice this when I looked at it this morning, but that it's not one person crossing swords, it's 2 people crossing swords, which, there's a thing about 2s that I think, there's like a magnetism, an attraction and repulsion that magnets do, and I think that that's cool. So you know that I do not love me, Rider-Waite-Smith 3 of Swords, but this I like a lot. A whole lot. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That sky, first of all. Second of all, again, there's neutrality in this that takes us a little bit away from like the sheer terror of the Rider-Waite-Smith 9. This is not, you know, I mean, there's anxiety here, but it's I don't know, it's much more, I don't know what the word is. It's neutral in that it doesn't proclaim itself necessarily to be terror. There's ambiguity in that 9, and that I really like. I like neutrality in the images. Here's the 10. Also, again, it's not a person. This is a sarcophagus. My hands are so glittery. Can you see that? You probably can't see that. Page. Knight. Queen. King. And then finally, Wands. So Ace of Wands. 2 of Wands. 3 of Wands. 4 of Wands. 5 of Wands. 6. Skies to me are really awesome in this deck, but also this ground. And again, let's explore how scale, you know, contributes to the image in a really cool way. Just such a like nerd. 7. Yeah, I like this a lot. These flames. I don't know. It's just really cool. And this 8. 9. 10. And then we have the Page, the night. Let's talk about a sky. Queen. I love sunflowers. I love these rich oranges and yellows are so great. Again, the richness of the colors, and then the king. The richness of the colors are beautiful. And then this is the back, which is great. So let me just sort of shuffle it. Now, you're not supposed to riffle shuffle gilded decks. Obviously, I never obey that. If you're gonna shuffle this deck one way or another, it's gonna get you sparkly. But I mean, shouldn't it kind of leave you sparkly? It shuffles really nicely. This is nicely shuffling cardstock. I mean, cardstock wise, it's not. It's card. It's not. This isn't like that super like high touch matte sort of thing, which makes a deck long lasting. I find that it doesn't always shuffle well. Some of those decks can be kind of sticky, and this does not do that. And it's tarot card size. I don't have a normal size tarot deck in front of me, but it's not. I have relatively small hands for a dude, and they shuffle great. So let's just lay them out as we do, and just sort of see them. The tiles are big, I'm not going to lie, the tiles on the cards are big. Sometimes that takes away. I don't think it really does in this case. I don't know how I feel about the kind of fleur-de-lis sort of arabesques on the corners. Some cards it doesn't sort of seem to be noticeable, and others it does. But really, like, they pop. This deck pops off the table. And again, I like to know what I'm looking at immediately. So though the tiles are large, I'm not mad at it, because I do like to know what I'm looking at as soon as I lay out the cards, so I can start thinking about what things mean. So this is a great, beautiful deck. I think even if like collage art freaks you out a little bit, this is something to consider. So the Afro Tarot by Jesse Jumanji. And again, jessejumanji.com, Jesse with an I. I'll leave the link in the description below. So, I hope you're well, I hope you're safe, I hope you're taking care, and we'll talk soon.